Welcome everyone to the April 25th Cieca cast on combined environmental reporting. Today's presenter is Matt Lynch of PPG. Matt is coming to us from Milan, Italy. And this is a milestone. This is the first international Cieca cast, so welcome to it. Matt is a global color software product manager for PPG. He's been with them for six years. He's a subject matter expert in the initiative to deliver quality products and services that exceed customer needs. Also, to make constant improvements as to achieve total customer satisfaction. Before I turn this over to Matt, if you have a question during the presentation, Matt has a very pressing time schedule, so if you would please just email me, just fred@cieca.com. Any question, I will get those to Matt and you will get your answers. Okay, thank you. We'll get moving. I'll now turn this over to Matt. And thank you, Matt, for presenting.
Thank you, Fred, for inviting me, and thank again for everybody attending. Fred, let's go ahead and kick this off. So again, this was just a little bit background on myself. Fred went through and managed through the first portion. I'm a color software product manager for PPG. Been with them for over 6 years. A little bit of background on PPG. PPG is an American Fortune 500 company, global supplier of paints, coatings, specialty materials, and fiberglass. Our CEO is Michael McGarry. Our headquarters is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and PPG, we operate in more than 70 countries around the globe. By revenue, we are the largest coating company in the world. Okay, we had a video, go ahead and skip over that. Purpose of today's meeting, we want to go over to discuss electronic reporting with respect to the collision industry. So we'll go over the rules, projects, and organizations, provide a background summary on CROMERR, the CER, CERS, and discuss the air quality management districts. The goal of today's meeting is to really drive and influence participation for the Cieca CER development testing tool. So we'll go over that in more detail as we progress. So Fred. So again, one of the more lengthy slides with the text, so I apologize in advance, but again, a lot of these slides, there's a lot of acronyms, so we're going to draw them all out and we're going to go top down. Collision shop compliance reporting, and again, these reports are going to be with respect to a shop if you were located in California. That's how we drill down. So up at the top, we've got the CROMERR, which is a federal level rule. It's itemized as the cross-media electronic reporting rule to provide the legal framework for electronic reporting under all the EPA environmental regulations. Second on the list, we got the CAER, so that is the Combined Air Emissions Reporting Project. That's to develop a process to report all 4 air databases, including the National Emissions Inventory via delegated state programs. Third on the list, and again, this is a state system, the California Environmental Reporting System. Again, careful with that acronym because it's very close to the CER, which we will mention later in the presentation. That is a statewide web-based system in California that participating agencies can use to electronically collect and report their hazardous material related data. Lastly, you have your regional level air quality management districts. So again, respect to, in particular, Southern California, you have your South Coast Air Quality Management District. It's responsible for controlling emissions and making sure that all areas for air pollution are addressed. Next. So to kick things off, a little bit more detail. Again, this is up at the high federal level. We have the background on the CROMERR. The rule sets performance-based technology neutral system standards to provide a stream uniform process for the agency to review and approval of reporting. This program ensures the enforceability of the regulatory information collected electronically by the EPA, state, and local tribe government partners. So how this role plays, this is really the foundation, the delivery mechanism for the information up high at the federal level. So Fred, if you can go ahead and go next. This is actually a chart here showing the approved application percentages for the CROMERR program and how they've been accepted on a state level. So if you get here, the ones in dark green on this slide, and you can see that's a pretty good chunk of the percentage of states. Those are at an acceptance rate of 81 to 100%. Getting through and down into the purple, those are states that are still actively building participation. And again, to get on board with electronic reporting and the ability to allow shops to channel that information and apply to that code 40 of the federal regulations for the CFR for the EPA. So that's just a high level of where the program's growing and where the active approval percentages are at. Next up is the E-Enterprise Combined Air Emissions Reporting. So this was the second on the list. Again, this is a system used at present for air pollutant emissions data. They're submitted over multiple forms and definitions, and there's numerous inefficiencies and costs involved with reporting. So what the Enterprise module does, again, this is all under development. It's seeking to consolidate the reporting activities to create common data entry points from respective entities to aggregate that data so that emissions can be reported only once. So by utilizing technology and streamlining the raw data, just hoping to better the efficiency throughout the whole process for e-reporting. And again, that is a federal program. It's a project right now, and there'll be a lot of development with that moving forward. Now we'd actually like to share a quick video about that process. This is again courtesy of the EPA. So Fred, if you're ready, we can go ahead and play that video.
Separate environmental laws passed over more than 40 years produced distinct ways in which regulated entities interacted with EPA states and tribes under each program. Now, environmental leaders from EPA states and tribes are working together to create a new way of doing business. Building on improvements to reporting in some individual programs, the E-Enterprise for the Environment Initiative is working to modernize business processes, make them more consistent, and simplify information sharing. The E-Enterprise for the Environment online portal was inspired by today's best e-commerce sites. It's innovative and designed to make it easier to transact business and find information. The E-Enterprise portal is a user-friendly platform for real-time environmental information that lets you customize your experience based on your needs. Right now, the portal is in its first phase. While its capabilities will grow over time, let's look at what the portal can do now. You can build an online profile, personalizing your preferences. You can customize your experience to see only the information you need. Lead abatement applicants, for example, can not only track approvals in real time, they can print their certifications and payment receipts right from their desktops. Local residents can track real-time air quality monitoring and data. The portal will give the regulated community an efficient link to multiple federal and state online reporting programs from a single site. It will let users view, map, and update information about their facilities. This is just the beginning. Your capabilities using the portal will grow even more over time as we add functions to address the needs of the regulated community, regulators, and the citizens they serve. We invite you to use the portal. Check it out, give us your feedback, and let us know what you would like to see.
Okay, Fred, if you can go ahead and continue. Perfect. And now we're going to jump down into the CERS system. Again, this is the California Environmental Reporting System. So how the funnel works, again, talking at the top of that diagram, you have the EPA, that was the federal CROMERR, that's your rule. That funnels down into the combined air emissions reporting, which is the slide that you just saw. And again, in California, there's a CERS system, which essentially aggregates all the data from your respective water quality, waste, and then the air quality VOC emissions from your South Coast AQMD, your OSHA, and then your NFPA. So, and again, all that data is comprised from all the SDS sheets all over the place. So you've got your CERS system, and now we'll keep going on through the next slide. The CERS system is very important, especially for an MSO. For the people that don't understand that acronym, the MSO is a multi-shop operation. So a collision shop that's got multiple entities, multiple locations. The big power here is the ease on managing your emissions and reporting across multiple sites. So again, you can prioritize users, permissions, and have administrators at certain sites managing all or only certain locations. So it's got a really good system for monitoring and tracking your respective compliance categories. The slide for the AQMD, again, we are focusing here on particularly Southern California, but just to take a look at this map, to put it in perspective, there's about 35, I believe, in California alone. So these air quality districts are spread out, and they're coming to a state near you. There's a lot of new states. I know there's laws in Pennsylvania. Utah just got on board, and essentially they're all variants of a national rule, and they all get more strict depending on certain products that people can use in each respective area. So again, just wanted to highlight that California is one of the big players as far as having a large amount of air quality districts. Just wanted to bring that to attention because you need to be in compliant for your local region rule, and that designates everything coming down to emissions before, because this is the beginning of what goes into that funnel for when it gets sent to the EPA. So again, just for awareness, and a big note that these laws are spreading and there are more air quality districts coming across the country, and it's going to be imperative and to keep in efficiency for your collision shops to not only be aware of the rule but to have a real streamlined process to channel and funnel that information. So we'll go ahead and continue. Again, the system that, and again this is getting down to the purpose of this meeting, is to drive people to see what Cieca is looking at as far as building a tool that can aggregate that information. So up at the top, again on the far right of this diagram, you'll notice that we list off your paint smart mix scale system, your body shop management system, your electric, gas, waste, paint chemical, water company, and then you've got your AST, UST automatic tank system. So all of those categories, again, with respect to a collision shop, are essential areas that need to get from point A to point B. And again, in current time, you're talking about a lot of forms, a lot of data, and a lot of clarification that needs to be brought to these areas. So again, Cieca developing a data dictionary and creating a format so that shops can help better ensure they're in compliance. That's the overall goal. So again, a lot of this, to share the name we saw before on a slide, we had CERS, which was the California. This is actually a base model of what the CERS system is, but again, this is combined environmental reporting, and again, this would scale. It would not be limited to California, and again, this is to help each respective business in each respective state better be aware and manage their emissions. And again, I'm with PPG, our product is Paint Manager. So again, the paint mix data that comes off your computer, I just wanted to touch on shops that are mixing across the scale. We have the ability to track that information and then channel it. They can generate reports. And again, looking at future technologies, where we all came into is looking to see, because a lot of the information you saw in those past slides is all digitized raw information, and right now that's where we're looking at at the opportunities of being able to port that raw data so that the paint systems can then share that and then composite that with all the other categories beyond just the refinish paint for the collision shop. So this is, again, we partner with body shop management systems, numerous ones that are out there. We're able to get data for costing into the system, and again, we're very optimistic, and we're always trying to be a part of the Cieca and these conversations to look at where the flow, not only for the money, but where the future of compliance. Again, Paint Manager XI, it should be noted, is a full solution as far as providing that reporting to the shop. But the bigger issue isn't just having the physical report, it's getting it to the end source. And again, in the future, with electronic reporting being so prevalent, you can just imagine these AQMDs and all these places that do these audits are going to have a really easy way to do snapshots to find out if shops are in compliance or not from looking them at a dashboard scenario. So again, we at PPG are just showing that we are aware of all these emerging technologies, and we look at them as a very great stance for us to be at the forefront to make sure that for future technology that we're leading the pack when it comes to paint. So with that, in closing, I just want to say thanks for all of you attending. As Fred mentioned, please channel any questions you have to him. He can pass those on to me. Cieca, their website, a great source, and any of the videos, you can all find links to those through the EPA. There's a great wealth of information out there, and again, I've got to get out. I'm in Milan, Italy, out on business, but I want to say again, thank you for everyone participating, and I do look forward to your questions and or your feedback so we can all drive this project into the future. Thanks.
Okay. Well, thank you, Matt, for that great presentation. I want to remind the audience that of a couple things here. If you or your company or you know someone that wishes to participate on the CER committee, they meet once a week on Tuesdays, and I believe it's 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And they're always looking for new members. This project, even though you know, you may say, well, it looks like they're a long way into. We're 6 months into this project. As you can see, that there is just a number of reporting places that need to be touched and worked on. So that's this is by far you know, this is something that will evolve. And so your participation is not only welcome, but if you've got some special expertise, we certainly can use it. That becomes kind of like a mandatory thing that you become involved if you've got some special things. So anyhow, I'd like to move on. Mark May 16th, we'll be sending out some notices. They'll be talking about the first notice of loss, so you can kind of read through the. We've got a kind of a very interesting set of Cieca casts for the remainder of the year, and also want to remind you we've got a great lineup for our annual symposium. This year it's going to be on September 18th through the 20th. The 18th is the day we kind of show up. We have our gathering in the evening of the 18th, all day on the 19th, with following that night in the evening with our gala reception, and then the next morning up until noon, and you'll be on your way. The Metropolitan at the 9 is a Marriott property. It's a boutique property. We basically have the run of this hotel, and it's a gorgeous hotel. You can look it up. You'll have a great time. More importantly, you'll be able to meet others that are others from the industry and other implementers, but also we've got speakers from Amazon, from NASA, from our members. So we've got a good mix again of presentation. Okay, so that concludes today's CECA cast. Thank you for joining us, As always, a video of today's presentation will be available on the Cieca website within 48 hours. Thank you and have a great day. Bye now.